That is, in fact, what I have heard. Yes, it is going to be a 90s carousel of fun on Facebook Gaming.
Facebook Gaming is going to let you play new trending artists such as the Snoop Dogg. Is that true, Perrin?
Yes, Snoop D-O-G-G. He will be played. It will be allowed. Facebook Gaming making some big plays, I guess.
This podcast is sponsored by Restream. Why live stream to one platform when you can simultaneously live stream to every platform to discover new audiences faster using Restream.io?
Your daily drop on gaming, live streaming, and social media today is what music can you play on Facebook Gaming? We get questions about copyright strikes on a daily basis, and it feels awesome to finally have some good news to throw onto the topic. So, Perrin, take us through the most recent developments.
So this was just announced yesterday, 1 p.m. So this is very, very recent, but Facebook has inked a deal with almost all the major music labels. Actually, they have a list here on this article. And this includes Universal Music Group, Warner Music Group, Sony Music Entertainment, Cobalt Music Group, BMG Publishing, Merlin, and many, 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 many more. Basically, they inked a deal allowing partners on their Facebook gaming platform, so those who have been partnered, to stream copyrighted music. Like, just pick copyrighted music and just stream it. Now, there will obviously be some that are restricted. I don't know what songs or artists that is yet. It depends on the deals that were made, but most of those deals were made so that they can stream copyrighted music now. And the idea, it looks like, is they'd like to extend that to more than just partners, but that's who they're rolling it out to first. This is huge because even Twitch hasn't done this. So this just made being a Facebook gaming streamer way more valuable. And right now, being a partner, extremely valuable, more so than Twitch. I mean, you can stream like whatever you want. You can stream your favorite mainstream music. You can stream pop. You can stream 80s. You can stream 90s. You can stream R&B, like whatever the hell you want, pretty much. I mean, yeah, there'll be some restricted stuff, but you've actually finally got some freedom with your music. That's pretty awesome. Did you guys see this coming?
I did not see it coming. I knew from working with other advising tech startups that it's actually not that difficult to acquire blanket music licenses from major record labels. You literally just contact them and you cut them a deal. And generally these types of deals involve giving them a percentage of total revenue across the platform, a small percentage, a couple percent points. And then these record labels will grant you a blanket license for their entire inventory for you just to freely stream content there, including their music, unlimited. And they just kind of siphon a percentage off the top. And I assume that Facebook has done a deal like that, and these record labels are getting a huge benefit from it, which is fantastic. One thing we need to talk about, though, is, and you're bringing it up here in the article, you mentioned that Facebook partners are currently the ones that are getting this benefit. So we don't want to tell people that are not yet level up creators, that are maybe level up creators, maybe aren't like official Facebook partners yet, that they can just freely stream whatever they want, right, Perrin? I mean, let's clarify this before everybody starts firing up that copyright music train.
Yeah, so actually Facebook did a fantastic job communicating all of this, and I'm on this page right now so that it's very, very clear what you can and what you cannot stream. So if you're a level up creator, which that is probably most of you listening, you cannot stream whatever music you want. Facebook basically says you have to use our sound collection, which has thousands of tracks. It says from hip hop, pop to jazz. I don't know anybody who uses this collection. I haven't gone through it in a while, but the last time I checked, it wasn't great. I don't know any creators who use it. Basically, this is saying you cannot play any music at all. Don't do it unless it's coming specifically from their sound collection. You're going to have issues. So if you're just a level up creator, this doesn't currently mean anything for you yet. This is just a good sign of maybe things to come. So if you're listening to this podcast, don't change your music strategy if it's don't play any music unless it's from Facebook's sound collection, which is what they're suggesting. When are they rolling really this out for all?
Can we hit the pause button on that, Perrin? Can we hit the pause button on that real quick?
Sure.
So you're saying don't play any music at all except stuff from their sound collection. So I know you're not a music lawyer, but what do you think about in-game music? So obviously there's two categories of in-game music. There's things like original soundtracks, OSTs, for certain games, you know, the cinematic-y kind of stuff, whatever, theme song-y kind of stuff. And then other games like GTA or maybe others like Tony Hawk will license actual music, and then you can play actual music in the game. So what are your thoughts on and what are best practices with in-game music? And do you see any risk for creators? Obviously, you're not a lawyer, but just telling them to the best, you know, how are you thinking about it?
So there are obviously clearly games that cross the line that use licensed music in the game. And so as a blanket statement, no. But in practice, if you're smart and you know what you're doing, yes. For example, you could likely, and I haven't tested this, and I'm not a lawyer, but you could likely play like the Skyrim soundtrack on like your live stream, even if you're playing, just as an example, Mobile Legends. Like that's probably going to be okay. But I don't know for sure. And you need to use your own assessment of like this game's music. How would it have been licensed? I haven't really tried that kind of stuff on Facebook. There's clear ones to stay away from, like your Grand Theft Autos, clearly. Any Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like clearly stay away from that one as well, because they're going to be having music in there from actual artists that is licensed to be in that game. So if you stay away from those titles and you stream games and just the music that belongs to that game, or music that belongs to another game that's just a standard kind of in-game background music, that theoretically should work out pretty well for you. But again, I'm not a lawyer, so test at your own risk. They do list on their site that royalty-free music options are good. So, but you have to verify place by place, location by location, whether or not they're good. And this can be tough to do sometimes with the music you're going to grab. So Facebook actually like goes through this in a little bit more detail and says, you know, what's covered, what's not, what happens if something is restricted. It does look like if you do play something restricted, you will get some notice, like you'll get an email notification, the video will get muted, it might get blocked, your video might get blocked too. You shouldn't instantly get your channel deleted, but you have to take, as soon as you get one of these, you have to take it very, very seriously. And you have to think about, you can never play that track again. I've had this happen with one or two songs. I've got a video blocked and I've had a lot of my videos muted. Normally, if your videos are muted for playing a song right now, that's been okay. If your video gets blocked, you get an email notification and it'll tell you what song specifically it was. And that way you can remove it from your list and you can repair your list. With there are changes coming in October, I think that this might be more strict now. I'm expecting it to be. So I would be very, very careful and make sure that if you are using music that is not in the sound collection, that you are 100% sure it's royalty free in some way.
And
okay,
not
this
just
actually brings up a question that I had. Sorry, AWOL, do you want to go ahead?
Do it.
All right. I get asked this oddly a lot. And for people who are looking for music to play, what somebody actually said, actually multiple people have said they do this. They go to YouTube and just do a YouTube search for royalty-free music. And then you can do like a YouTube to MP3 converter and there you have your music. Is that viable or is that just way too risky?
I think that that's
really
too risky. Yeah, Perrin and I both agree on this because you're counting on whoever aggregated all of that music to have checked the music license on every single track. Maybe they did. Let's assume they did. And then that playlist at the time that the video was uploaded is royalty free. But what if that playlist was uploaded in March of 2020 and then one of the artists that are included in that playlist gets signed and they sign away all their distribution rights and all their monetization rights to their music to some record label like Universal? Guess what? It's no longer royalty free. And the person who made that original playlist probably doesn't know that that deal was inked. And so everybody out there that's using this playlist royalty free in quotation marks is actually in violation of copyright now. It's way too risky. So I think, you know, an extra option, if you guys are making a little bit of money or you have some money to break off, licensing music specifically to use on a platform like Facebook is a safe option. If you can go to any number of websites, Audio Jungle, even I think Epidemic Sound has a Facebook option, and any number of other music licensing services, and you can pay for a license to play and monetize music on the Facebook platform specifically, and you will have a written license in your hand, digital of course, that you can upload to your Google Drive. And if anybody ever comes to you to mute your stream, if they ever come to you with a copyright strike, if they ever come to you and try to demonetize you or shut down your channel, you can just forward to the legal department of Facebook or refute that claim with a literal attachment of the freaking music license that you have for that music, and they will free it up immediately. The legal departments of these companies, if they see you have a real license, they're going to clear that up real quick. If you're making some nimbly-bimbly argument about, oh, I got a royalty-free I found this playlist on such and such website and blah, blah, blah. They don't care about what you have to say about it. If you have a written agreement and a written license, that's all they care about. So if you have that written license in your hand, it specifically says you can use it on Facebook, and it specifically says you can monetize using that music, then you're probably okay. Definitely consult with your lawyer if you're confused. I'm not a lawyer, but those are the best practices there if you want to go get specific music. Also, I'd add one thing to that. A lot of people do like word of mouth agreements with artists. They'll DM an artist on Twitter or something and be like, hey, can I use your music in my videos? And then the artist will be like, sure. Just make sure you put my link in the description, something like that, right? I've worked with an artist like that before. I didn't actually move forward, and this is one of my favorite artists. I didn't move forward on that because I don't have a written agreement with that artist. And here's what I mean. So you can get the permission of an artist to use their music, but if they ever sign with a label, whatever they tell you in the Twitter DM, whatever they tell you in a conversation is gone because they just signed with a record label. They just signed with a company, and now the rights to monetize and distribute that music that they told you verbally or they told you in DMs is basically completely irrelevant at that point. So don't trust anybody's word. Don't trust what anybody says about royalty free. Go get your own license. That's my opinion. Perrin, you have more stuff to talk about though, right?
Yes. So there are stipulations into this, this cool new thing. This is exciting, something coming, and it might be coming from more than just partners on the platform, but there's rules for it. So primary one, they're saying your stream should be about gaming, not music. Okay. It should be about gaming. In other words, if you're okay to stream music, as long as that's in the background with game sound effects and your voice and anything else over top, playing DJ without gaming is no, they don't like music streams. And in fact, we saw an article come out about this over the weekend too, on how they're shutting down kind of these DJ/artist music streams. They don't want that on their platform. So they don't want gamers playing DJ. They don't want gamers focused on the music. That's something they specifically don't want. So keep that in mind that if you're having this, like, let's say there's a down period. I know like a lot of streamers like to do this in between games or something where you're just sitting, chilling with your audience, talking, you're not playing games, maybe shut off the music because that period of time, yeah, you've got your voice over top, but if you're not playing the game and you're just talking and it looks like you're DJing and especially if you're talking about the music too, that's going to be not good. So it definitely very much has to be a not central part of the stream, has to be in the background. The game has to override it. So when you're balancing all of your audio, consider this point, right? The game should take priority over your background music. And your voice should obviously take priority over that as well. The music should play the least role whenever you're balancing everything. And then clips. So we're talking about live streams. Their agreements cover your live stream videos and the on-demand version of those live streams for clips or short clips, like the kind your viewers might make from your streams. Those are also covered. Long edited videos that you might upload separately are not covered. This means you can't make, montage gaming music videos of your frags in Call of Duty. Nope. Not going to be good there. I don't know if anybody ever does that anymore, but you can't do that on Facebook. Your video will get canned.
They do.
And eventually your page.
They do. They definitely do that still. Please continue.
They've been doing that for like 15 years. It's crazy. Okay. Nothing changes. This is a streaming only thing, not a video thing. So keep that in mind. All right. And then they do, I want to figure out where they say it, but they do say officially here that they are looking to roll this out, which I thought was exciting.
You just passed it. It said, when are you going to roll this out for all creators? If you scroll down, it's there.
Yes, there it is. Thanks. So I didn't actually know this until I read this, because I got this from the Verge article, but they're rolling this out first to partner creators, clearly. But it says we can't wait to enable it for all gaming creators, which would be absolutely huge, because not only is this a monumental partnership benefit on the Facebook gaming side, something that Twitch creators don't have yet, but if they extend it to all creators on their platform, they're going to force Twitch to have to make a move here. Like, do you guys think Twitch is going to follow suit on this? I mean, Ross,
this was literally what I was about to ask when I just put my finger up. I was going to ask you guys. So if it's like what AWOL said, just going and then giving them a percentage, why hasn't a company like Twitch, who's owned by Amazon, why haven't they done this at this point? It just seems kind of ludicrous. Another great 90s reference.
My guess is that they don't want to, because if I were to guess, I can't tell you how I know some of these things, but if I were to guess and speculate based on what I know publicly, how about let's say that, Twitch doesn't make money. And Twitch has been losing money every single year since it started operating. And when you're trying to do blanket music licenses like this, like I mentioned earlier, you are going to have to probably provide these music companies with a total percentage of total revenue on your platform. Maybe 1% to Universal, 1% to Sony, 1% to this person, 1% to that person to get the top 4 or 5 music companies. If you're losing money, or if you're barely breaking even, or if you're 1 or 2% in the profitability margin, which is Twitch is somewhere in there right now, most likely, doing these music license deals could tank your company even further to where you might not just be losing $5 million a year. You could be now losing $15 to $20 million a year. Or you could go from barely eking out a couple $1 million in profit per year to now losing $10, $20, $30 million per year. So I think it's a financial challenge. And it's also a challenge of scale. As Twitch scales up, they most likely don't want to provide a percentage of their revenue to these music companies because they think that they are more valuable than that. And they think that they can get out of it by putting, music policing strategies in place on their platform. And they can basically just pay, a couple $1 million in legal fees per year to deal with music issues. And they can drop maybe, $500,000 a year in development and PR related to music per year. And it only costs them a couple $1 million a year. And then music is solved for now, as opposed to giving up a couple percentage points of their total revenue, which might cost them tens of millions of dollars per year. So it's completely a financial decision by Twitch, if I were to guess. And until their business becomes more profitable, I don't see Twitch rolling out something like this for their creators, even though they probably want to. It's strictly a financial calculation. And if you look at other decisions they've made recently, like with canning Dr. Disrespect as an example, you could speculate that they would can someone like Dr. Disrespect just to save $10 million, right? And so you can see other moves that they're making to save money at the moment. So as their platform scales up, that doesn't mean the amount of profit they're making is scaling up, guys. A lot of people think that something like Twitch is making millions or billions. I speculate that it's making nothing. It's actually probably losing money still. And it's just some play Amazon made. They bought the company, they bought the platform because of its reach and because of its potential to tie into the greater Amazon business, not because it makes a lot of money. It's very expensive to run streaming servers like this. In Twitch, I'll stop ranting in a moment, but Twitch, you know how many 0 view streams are out there? Millions.
The vast majority of them.
They're hosting 7 million live streams. They get 0 viewers and make no money. That's bad for business. And so Twitch is basically the garbage dump for bad streamers now. And so they have to pay money to run 7 million streams every month, and they make no money off of those streams. That's tanking their business. That's why they aren't doing music licenses right now. Back to you, Ross.
That makes sense. So I feel like there's another episode in asking, how can we make Twitch profitable? Maybe a Friday Fun Day conversation.
Well,
Can I add to this real quick before we exit? And it won't take long.
Yes.
I want to support your theory with evidence from this week. This week, Twitch tried to roll out automated mid-roll ads, and all the streamers hate this. There's an outcry against it, but a lot of creators are speculating that this is a call from up top, aka the Bezos man on top, saying, Twitch, you got to make more money. So I think you're spot on with this analysis. Ross, get us out of here.
Dude, never argue with the Bezos. That was your Daily Drop. Full replays are on YouTube. Go watch. Listen to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever podcasts are available. We will be back tomorrow. Happy creating.
You know what? You shouldn't count on one platform, my friends. Facebook is hooking people up. You can grow on Facebook. It's crazy, but who knows if that's going to be the case in a year or two from now. That's why you should be restreaming. Using Restream.io, use the link in the description and in our bio on Twitter and YouTube to get $10 off your first month. We get credit for that. You can stream to every platform at the same time. We're live on Twitch, DLive, Facebook, Trovo, YouTube, and Periscope right now using the power of Restream.io. They sponsor this podcast, and they are hooking you up with 25% off using our code DROP25, DROP25 with no space. That's DROP25 with no space to get 25% off Restream.io. Happy streaming, and be careful with the music until your